recent weeks, IREX has been forced to cease all the operations in Azerbaijan. What's the assessment of your organization about the action of Azerbaijani authorities?
Well, I think we were very surprised right from the beginning because we've taken great pains over the years to be in full compliance with the laws of Azerbaijan. We've made sure that we're in compliance with employment laws, that we are paying into the benefit system and the tax system for employees, and that otherwise we have done our best to essentially stay in full compliance with the laws of Azerbaijan. We were very surprised because, as it turned out, this investigation came without any warning, really, and also any explanation. And when we were told that it was, at first it was a tax investigation, we didn't really understand what they would be looking for. So we were kind of surprised when it seems as though there's a misunderstanding about the basis of our tax-free status, which is, IREX in Washington receives money from the United States government through USAID, and then we send that money to Azerbaijan, our office there, to do programming. And it seems as though, although that is supposed to be covered by a bilateral agreement that has been signed several years ago by both the Azeri government and the US government, it seems as though there's been a misunderstanding or somehow a change in the status that we should have been paying taxes according to the government of Azerbaijan. Our understanding and the US government's understanding, as far as I know it, has been very different.
Recent actions is taking place within the crackdown against NGOs in Azerbaijan. What do you think? What would be effect of the Azerbaijani government action on the civil society?
Well, I think this comes at a very unfortunate time in the development of Azerbaijan's civil society sector. Currently, there are very few sources of independent funding. Citizens, for example, citizens and corporations who in the United States are often the benefactors of our civil society organizations, haven't developed to the point in Azerbaijan where they can support a vibrant civil society sector, particularly with financing. So it really comes at a difficult time because the civil society organizations that have been growing, and growing in a very grassroots way, but with support of international organizations, they're now not going to be able to access the kind of funding they need to sustain their operations. And so it's going to be very difficult for them to continue to operate in a meaningful way.
Can you tell us about the work of your organization in Azerbaijan? What are your goals?
IREX began a long time ago, actually, to do educational exchange work. In fact, this was an initiative going all the way back to 1958 between Premier Khrushchev of the USSR and President Eisenhower. And there was a precursor organization that became formalized in 1968. And between 1968 and the mid-1990s, IREX pretty much only worked in the area of educational exchanges. And the goal of those exchanges, of course, is to increase mutual understanding and to allow academics in both countries to gain a better understanding of history, of culture, of art, of literature. And so that was really the initial reason why IREX began working in Azerbaijan when it became independent. Since that time, IREX has also begun to support the development of quality journalism and independent media outlets. We've done that work throughout Eastern Europe and now increasingly around the world. So our goals still remain to increase mutual understanding through educational exchanges, but also to help develop the pillars of a vibrant civil society, one of which is a strong independent media that informs citizens and provides them with credible information that they can use to make their own decisions, not only political decisions, but economic decisions, decisions about their own health care, about the education of their children, about their environmental impact, all sorts of things like that.
Are you going to express your concerns in official channels like such as State Department or White House?
We have been in touch with, first and foremost, with USAID, and secondly with the State Department. I believe the State Department issued, I think it was late last week, a statement about the situation of NGOs facing closure in Azerbaijan. And in general, the U.S. government has been supportive of IREX, and that's natural because we've been operating in partnership with both governments. And so I think that, that this has also come as a surprise to the U.S. government as well.
Azerbaijani government lobbyists claim that Azerbaijan is interested in integrating to the West, to the Euro-Atlantic community. What do you think? How these claims are credible? I mean, can they be credible in this kind of situation in Azerbaijan, like crackdown against NGOs?
That is a worry of mine and of IREX's. Clearly, Azerbaijan is part of the greater European family. There's no question about that. Over the years, many people in Azerbaijan, both within the government and within civil society, have been putting in a lot of hard work to formalize those relationships with all the various institutions that make up the European family that Azerbaijan would care to join and strengthen their relationship with. I think, unfortunately, though, this kind of action does damage the prospects of further integration. I think when it's not only American organizations, it's not only IREX, but it's organizations based in the United Kingdom, such as Oxfam, I believe, and some others, some other multilateral type organizations, that they've been exposed to the same kind of treatment all around the same time. I think it does kind of change the perception of the greater European family about Azerbaijan's intent on moving in the direction of further integration along the lines of, a number of the countries of former Yugoslavia are now more fully integrated, and even moving further eastward, you see that. So I think this does call into well, it damages, I think, it damages the work that a lot of Azerbaijanis have done to date to increase that integration and that position of Azerbaijan as a member of this European family.
What do you think? What can restore your operations in Azerbaijan?
Apparently, there's both a tax case and what we've heard, a criminal case. But we haven't really been informed exactly the nature. So the charges haven't really been described to us. We haven't had a chance to build a case and defend ourselves against charges so much. We've cooperated with the tax authorities. We've provided documentation as requested. We allowed tax inspectors to sit in our office for about a week or so to collect information. They later came with the police and seized a number of documents and computers. We didn't resist that. And because we know that we haven't done anything wrong. And so I think to restore our operations, we'd need these charges to be dropped. We'd need our bank account to be unfrozen so that we can operate. And that's really one of the key reasons why we needed to cease operations, because without a bank account, you can't pay local salaries and you can't pay your partners for the work that they do in cooperation with you. And for now, we've only heard, frankly, through indirect sources, the media in Azerbaijan, what the nature of the criminal charges are. And we think that we absolutely don't agree that we've been doing these kinds of things that we've been accused of. Although, again, we haven't seen in writing from the government what the true nature is. So once the criminal charges are resolved and hopefully in our favor and the bank account is reopened, then we can restore our activities there. We've had operations throughout Central and Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union for more than 20 years now. And this kind of thing is very rare in our experience. Only in the case of Belarus and Uzbekistan has an IREX office been closed down by the government, or been closed down for any means other than simply funding, the lack of funding. Even in Russia today, despite the fact that relations between Russia and the United States are at a low point in recent history, and I think that's unfortunate. But even there, we are still operating. Our bank account hasn't been frozen. We're not being visited by tax authorities, and so even there, we are operating because we are recognized as an apolitical organization. So it's really quite a shock, I think, that this would happen in Azerbaijan, where the relationship, the government-to-government relationship between the United States and Azerbaijan is, to my understanding, quite strong. So that something like this would happen is really, it really took us by surprise.
You mentioned about the criminal activities. Do you have any idea what kind of criminal activities you were being accused?
Well, again, we've only heard about these things indirectly through media reports within Azerbaijan. We've not been given anything official. Our understanding, if these reports are to be believed, we've been charged with or we're accused of helping to train opposition media. And, we have only worked with more objective, independent media, not opposition media. There are opposition media in Azerbaijan, but because they are tied to opposition groups and therefore a lot less objective, we have historically not supported them and not worked with them.
Thank you.